All right, so the next game is Game & Watch Mario the Juggler. It is the very final Game & Watch they made the modern ones that were just like ROM machines, basically. This is the final one of the classic Game & Watches, essentially. I think it's a new widescreen, and it's a remake of Ball, so let's get into it. All right, let's go ahead and start the timer. I'm pushing the wrong button. And here's the timer. So Mario in this is juggling a heart, a star, and a bomb. I'm trying to remember what games have those. Hearts are in Super Mario Bros. 2. Bombs are in Super Mario Bros. 2. Stars are in Super Mario Bros. I want to do that Nino. The only problem with those is that there's no way to stream them. I might have to put like my camera down at my hands, which is not great. But there's only 2 of them, so it's not a huge deal to do that. I would like to. Oh, unless you're talking about like the DSi ones. Which one are you referring to? The Mario and Zelda Anniversary Editions or the like the DSi releases? Because I'll do both, so it doesn't matter which. All right, let's start with Game Mode A. And this is just Ball. Interesting, you don't see the black outlines on this one of their paths. Okay, let me see. Star here is middle hand. Bomb is inner. Heart is outer. That's what I gotta remember. I'm not completely opposed to looking into everything like that. I just don't know what actually exists and how easy it is to play them. The convenient thing about the Anniversary Editions is that I own those. Okay. Is there other buttons I can use here? Because this should be... Actually, I didn't look. How was it? Was it intended for you to push 2 buttons with one hand? Do you know what I maybe wonder if I should have done this whole time? I wonder if I should have been playing these games on a controller. I wonder if that would have been a better experience. This whole time I've been playing on a keyboard, but I actually wonder if... Because they're intended to be played on traditional buttons, not keyboard keys, which I feel like would change the experience a little bit, you know? It's easy. I know it's certainly easier for me to press buttons on a controller than on a keyboard. I'm usually quicker at it for whatever reason. It might just be a me thing, though. We started with Ball, and now we end on it. We have come full circle. The most exciting release Game & Watch has ever done. Mario's ghostly arms T-pose to the side as his hands float in the air like Raymond's. Also, Mario is not even watching the balls. He's just looking up at the sun. That's how skilled he is. Also, that's the Super Mario Bros. 3 kind of background, isn't it? Yeah, that game A on the bottom left there. Those blocks. Very Super Mario Bros. 3. Unfortunately, as simple and as long as this game will take for me to reach 300, I have to focus on it a lot. I hear the lawnmowers outside. You guys might be hearing them here. Not already. I didn't put my filter on for them. Yep, they're passing right by. I can hear them right now. Oh, I actually misjudged the order there, but I got lucky that my hands lined up for it. All right. Thankfully, I've passed 100, so things have slowed down a little bit. I'm assuming the lives do not refresh yet. This lawnmower better pass by soon, because it is quite loud. Wonder if I can set up multiple of the same audio filter for different types of effects, like one for the air conditioner and one for the lawnmower. And then I can just easily swap between them when this darn thing passes by. Put up, put up. Oh, I don't know if my order there was correct. I'm not actually sure. Looks like there might be some forgiveness in the order, though. I'm not sure yet. Not all Game & Watch games are generous. If you do something out of order, then you're toast. But some of them, it looks like this one's generous because basically the way it looks like it's when they're at the lowest point, they're there for a little bit before they actually fall, giving you time to potentially move to a few of them. Maybe one of these days I should do a getting 999 in every Game & Watch, although that doesn't always work. There's a couple that, like, what was the one that went above 999? It was like a lot. Was it the bomb one? Well, there's been multiple bomb ones. The guy with the puzzle one. Didn't that one work really differently? That one didn't have the exact same kind of scoring. And then, of course, there's ones like the gambling one, too. The Las Vegas one. See, was that order or was I just toast? Come on! He's, like, yelling at the world. Yeah, that's true. I'm not playing on a console, so it probably looks funnier like this. Luckily, I have lives here, though. If you remember, the original ball did not have lives. We have reached 200. So losing life there isn't a big deal. Basically, my kind of goal, or like in a tough Game & Watch game where I'm almost certainly going to fit. Was that order again? Or do I need to be faster? Because I was just about to say what my general aim is, and I just failed at it. And that is to not fail the first 100. Maybe fail once as I approach 200, and then fail one more time as I approach the final increment. Obviously, I try to not die at all, but that's how I think things are okay. Right now, things aren't really okay, because I've lost a life before. It's gonna get hard before 300. I guess I can move pretty fast, so I'm wondering if I'm actually being held back by the keyboard here a little bit. Whoa, my eyes just, like, played a trick on me. I just need to be willing to move quickly if I have to. Oh, this is... okay. Fine now. It's the double tapping that I struggle with. This is something I've grown to realize ever since I couldn't beat that stupid Street Fighter boss on I Want to Be the Boshi. I'm better at mashing on a controller than I am on a keyboard. I can't mash on a keyboard very hard, but I can mash on a controller pretty well. Time to log in. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Life refresh! I'll see how far I can go. You look angry? Up there in the corner. Like I said, it almost looked like he was, like, mad at the world that he dropped him. Or maybe he's mad at the mysterious man controlling his arms for failing to display his actual abilities. That wasn't too bad. It got a little... I was getting a little sweaty there at the end. I think I was getting a little bit. I'm getting a little better at navigating those quick spots. You just have to be willing to move a little early. Bomb Sweeper, yeah, that's the name of that one I was talking about earlier. I think that one had a really weird scoring. Like the way they display this or gave you points was kind of weird. Oh boy, 3 in a row there. Yo, this is fast already. I kind of... That was hard. I could tell my order was bad. He does look kind of angry up there. Do you get a second life refresh in these? I don't remember. Is it at 700 or is it 500? Or is there none at all? I don't remember. I remember there being different increments at different points in the series. I don't remember what they eventually landed on, though. Is he laughing at you? That's kind of funny. When did the Toad voice start? Was that Sunshine? Oh, I realized it was wrong right when I made the choice. He is laughing at me. That's kind of funny. Because the N64 Mario Party Toad voice is not the Toad voice anymore. Oh, I just was reading chat. That was my bad. Well, that was A. I beat it. It's going to B. I don't know. I play games for so long now. What is... Oh, snap! Okay, so the... You know... Oh, okay. I was about to say, I thought I was getting mad at the lag too laughing. I'm gonna reset. I misunderstood. I thought I was supposed to avoid those, which I was like, why are they throwing hearts that I'm supposed to avoid? They should throw bombs at me. So how does this work now? I just juggle 4? Oh, it just goes back into their hands. Okay, I see. I worry that this is gonna be a little confusing. I feel like this isn't this easier? No, because it could potentially be harder. It's easier moment to moment, but it has a higher potential for nasty moments. And what I mean by that is, I normally only have to worry about, or it might be about the same normally. No, I think it's less. Well, I don't know, with 2 of them, I don't know, I'm trying to decide. Because any individual heart is not in my hand for as long, or not hitting my hands as much, but there's 2 of them, so maybe that balances out. The hard thing is that there's the potential for me to have to grab 2 hearts at once, which is a complete opposite shift of hands. They have a voice in Satelliq games. Or Satelliq. I didn't know that had voices. Guess we'll see. I am looking forward to some of those Satelliq, other weird kind of side, like Virtual Boy, all the games I haven't really seen that much of. I still feel like making native not native, but Virtual Boy games on the 3DS using the 3D on the eShop was a missed opportunity. I think we've talked about this before, though. It's just probably because Nintendo wants to forget they ever existed. Oh, it's part of the radio broadcast. Okay, now that makes 100 times more sense. I kind of forgot about that. Of course, those voices, they like a lot of them had them. I don't know. Oh, shoot, I didn't even see the star there for a second. Wait, why is my score 750? This is like game mode B in the original where they gave you 100. Wait, what am I going for then? Am I only finally at 100? Am I only at 80 right now? What the heck? I think this is moving slower than the other mode. There is a lot going on right now. It's funny, they decided to keep that from the original, even though it was definitely a relic of them just being the first, doing it for the first one and not really realizing that doing increments of 10 don't really make any sense, because it's just the same thing as doing increments of 1 in the end. Oh yeah, Mario Kart 64, we got in with the other voice there too, right? Peach has kind of a different voice in that too, that I feel like is actually different from her Mario 64 voice. Mario was German. Sometimes you can audibly hear when it speeds up. I just heard it there. I was gonna say this has been easy so far, but I didn't mess up in the first difficulty until I got to the later 100s anyway. We're only halfway there right now. Things are getting faster. Oh man. It's a bummer. Oh, what is that? That's a different yard tool. Is that a weed eater? Sorry if you guys can hear that too. Guess it's the time of the year for yard work, huh? What's hard is that these move at different speeds, and sometimes when one looks like it's gonna be ahead, it'll shift last minute, and it's hard to make the judgment call if it's gonna make that shift. I didn't mean to. That was my own fault, dude. I'm gonna die. Can I lock in and make it to 2 or 3K? Probably not, but I will try my best. This really isn't the final Game & Watch we're gonna Game & Watch. Or that's like, this isn't the final Game & Watch series game we're gonna play. It's the end of the Game & Watch handhelds, but there's other games. The Game & Watch galleries are gonna feel very similar to this. Well, there's a bit more stuff they do to keep it fresh, but those are also very similar type of games. And then there's just the fact that, you know, they made a few ports here and there. Including one that's apparently within a dictionary app on the DSi, a Japanese exclusive dictionary app, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about that one. Wonder if Nintendo has a master list of games somewhere. They probably do, although they probably include everything they've released, including applications and the like. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they don't know some of their oldest stuff. Like, do they have records internally of head on N at all? I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't, to be honest. Okay, time to focus in. It's always fortunate when a heart and a bomb line up on opposite ends. You don't have to adjust between hitting them. I didn't even see it. I thought that was going into the Hammer Bros hands. I'm so mad. That was me just failing the game mode B difficulty. So close! Didn't one try game mode B. Yeah, that was close. Oh well, here we go again. Oh yeah, that old Mahjong machine. That one's weird too. Does that even count as a video game, or is that just a electronic toy? Definitely kind of blurs the lines. You say that, but Wikipedia doesn't consider it to be. Although I guess it could just be due to their different categorization of Game & Watch games. That one wasn't emulatable though, right? Someone was like working on it. I'd probably still include it, just because I've been pretty broad in what I would include for some of the older games anyway. Is this a viable strategy? When things are uncertain? The only problem is that doesn't really work when it's the bomb and the heart on one side. That's when things are really hard. That's the hardest scenario. I wonder with fast enough mashing, if you could just scan the whole thing left to right and be fine. It actually seems somewhat viable. It could just be that it's working because of the lower speed. So I got panicked there and I tried to grab the heart from his hand there. This is it. Oh, I got it. Okay. Thankfully, it wasn't too fast yet, but that probably would have killed me on harder speeds. Wonder if they made this knowing it was going to be the last one. Like, did they already have plans to stop it? Clearly the Game & Watch series was barely amongst the living at that point anyway. In fact, for all we know, they already considered it dead, and they just decided to make this more as a special edition sort of thing. Yeah, that's what you're saying. What was the last one before this? I don't remember now. It's already been so long. Was it just the widescreen versions of the Crystal Screen games? Thankfully, once again, that was while it was slower. I went the wrong way. That's so bad. What a dumb point to lose a life. It was the Zelda one, that's right. Wonder if they saw that as a Game & Watch's last big chance. If we stick a popular franchise on it and it doesn't sell well enough. Well, no, really. Let's be real. It was just because they moved on to the Game Boy at that point, I think. I mean, the sales probably helped. But I think they really just had focused their attention was a big part of it to the Game Boy from that point out. No! Okay, hold on. Should I just give up? So, as far as the June Direct goes, to be honest, I am not expecting much from that. If anyone has high expectations for it, holy moly, loud. I would encourage you to temper your expectations, because I genuinely do not expect there to be much in it. Because they said that they're not announcing the console yet, but they will later in the year. That sounds like announcements for later in the year, not now. I'm probably honestly expecting mostly to see smaller titles and ports of older titles. I guess within that category of things that I think are realistic to show up in the Direct, probably a Fire Emblem remake of a classic game, like Genealogy of the Holy War. That's probably what I would want the most. Because you know, it's a game series I haven't played those games to, although I guess I will now. So I've always been wanting them to do more ever since the 3DS remake, which I really liked. I know it's a boring answer, but I'm trying to keep my expectations real. I know there's murmurs of, like, Twilight Princess Wind Waker HD coming to the Switch. I already own both of those on the Wii U. I'd still probably get them, but it's not like I care that much to see them again. Maybe if we're lucky, something like another 2D Metroid or something, but I doubt it, even that. That would be, I guess, a smaller title compared to, like, Metroid Prime 8. I just don't... Maybe we'd see one more big game for the Switch, but honestly, at this point, I think they're just going to be saving everything for the next console. Anything big. Maybe a dual release, like Breath of the Wild, so maybe we could see, like, a Metroid Prime 4. It's coming out on both sort of things. That could surprise me, but... Ba-da-ba-da-da-ba-da-da-da. What about you, Nino? Anything you're looking forward to? This game has a story? Is it in the manual or something? Dang it, I'm doing good in this run otherwise, other than those dumb mistakes. Oh yeah, you mentioned that. I don't know if we'd see that. Honestly, at this point, I don't know if we'd see that for the Switch. Maybe. I'd almost expect that to be a Switch or a future console thing, too. But it does fit into the, ports. And remasters box I was giving. I could see it happening, I guess. In the sense of things I think that could happen before announcing the next console. Ooh, I almost didn't see that heart over there. Killing it, killing it. Yeah! Nice! For how bad I messed up earlier. Saved it. I'm expecting the next Mario Kart to be a launch title for the next system. I think with how dominant Mario Kart 8 was of a game for the Switch, I think they're saving the next one for the next system as a launch title. That's my guess. Maybe launch year, but... Because, of course, you need to split your games up throughout the year. I honestly pretty strongly expect Nintendo will hold on to games for a while that are already finished in order to spread their releases out. I don't know if they'll do it for all titles, because, for example, we see Tears of the Kingdom get delayed, so clearly that didn't come out when they initially expected it to. But I suspect a lot of titles, especially their smaller ones, are finished for longer, or for a while, and the date is determined more by where they want it to fit, not by when it was completed. I imagine well, I don't know. I think Nintendo has to do that more than most companies because of how strong their first-party presence is on their own consoles. So for some companies, releasing a bunch of games is just when they release them, but for Nintendo, it's a matter of keeping their consoles' life alive. So I think for them in particular, I think they do that more than most devs. I imagine others still do it to some degree, but I think they do it more. Or I suspect they do it more, I guess. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they got started working on a future Mario Kart title quite a bit earlier. But with how well Mario Kart 8 was doing on the Switch, they were like, you know what? Let's just save it for the future. And keep riding the success of Mario Kart 8. Obviously, they've probably done more work on it since then, if in this theoretical scenario. But that is not something I would be surprised if that's actually what happened. Seemed like I'm doing better now on this one than I did on the first one. Or maybe it's just me playing this game for long enough that I'm figuring out some strategies. You know, for you, Turtle, I don't know if we would see something until the next console, but it has been a bit since we've had a Kirby game, huh? I imagine they're working on something Kirby related, right? I quite liked Forgotten Land too, so I'm ready to see what they do next. If it'll be similar, if it'll be classic style. They always do weird stuff too, though. They'll have like they like to have their wacky side Kirby games too, although I guess they haven't been doing those as much lately, huh? Whoa! That was crazy. I didn't mean to. That was actually me just moving over too much. Bummer. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. I'm not really sure. Like, how long was Forgotten Land's development time, though? I wouldn't be surprised if that one took them longer to make than the other types of Kirby games. Especially it being their first foray into 3D Kirby. Well, at least of that style. It's not the first time Kirby's been rendered in 3 dimensions, but... I'm just wondering if you look at the timeline of Kirby, are we due for another one soon? Part of me is secret. I don't know if they'll do it. Part of me still hopes that they make occasional smaller Zelda 2D style games like Link Between Worlds. Whew. I don't know. I'm not the kind of guy who always wants every single, I like the small releases, but, you know, quote-unquote lower budget or whatever games between the big ones. Not everything needs to be this crazy, huge game. Still alive. Yeah, I don't know. Should Kirby be 3D only from here on out, or should they still make 2D ones? I'd welcome it. I'd welcome more 2D Kirby games, as long as they're good. Just because I really like Forgotten Realms doesn't mean that has to be the only thing they do from here on out. Although I think that one did sell well, so who knows. Up, up. Mario is juggling. Ooh. This is Mario the Juggler, after all. This is bad. Oh, snap! I can't believe I pulled that off. Wow, I made 700. Or I mean, 7,000, I guess. Nintendo apparently hired quite a bit over the past year. Which isn't always usual for them. Nintendo retains employees more than most companies do. I think their retention rate is like 98% in Japan, when the average is like 70 or something. %98 is a very high retention rate. So they tend to not, like, cycle through employees and fluctuate in size a lot, but they did just get a whole bunch more, I heard, over the last year. Like, their overall employee size is increased. But who knows? Maybe that's them doing more stuff with their theme parks and their movies and stuff like that. Although those have largely been with other companies, so I don't know how much Nintendo's had to hire for those. I don't know. I'm not sure. Dude, this is going kind of mad right now. $800. Okay, now I'm like kind of wanting to reach a max score here. Although I'm worrying about getting too hopeful. It doesn't look like there is any more life refreshes, though. I don't think at this point that they're going to give me another one. Bit of a tricky part there. Dude, we're going fast already. Oh, man. I'm so locked in right now. Like, this game is way too much of my attention. This is more focused than the final boss of Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Oh, almost messed up there. Oh, I made it to 900 or 9,000. Oh boy. That was getting pretty hard there at the end, though. We'll see if I can make it. Whew. You know, I'm ultimately not sure how I feel about Game & Watch's format. I've thought about this. The whole, like, you have these bursts of really hard moments and then the rest of it's really easy. Because it kind of makes most of the time a little bit more boring, actually. Like, you have exciting moments, but a lot of it isn't. But if it was all crazy, it would maybe be too much, but maybe they just needed to balance it a little better. I don't know. I just find a lot of it, I'm kind of doing it mindlessly, and then all of a sudden I have to really lock in for like a short stretch. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. Not sure if I think it's a good thing ultimately or not. I barely even got that hard. I guess in some ways that's often the loop of... Oh, for some reason I thought that was on the other side of high score chasers anyway. Oh, not necessarily. A lot of them just get harder and harder as you go. Whereas this one swaps between easy... Where these ones swap between easy and hard. Okay, here we go. I just bounced something and I don't know what it was. I did it! Max score obtained! This is like, what, the second Game & Watch I've ever done that for? I did it for Greenhouse. I don't know if I've ever done it for another one. I guess that's a good way to end the Game & Watch series though, right? Quite a finale. I truly am Mario the Juggler. and that. Oh shoot! I just thought my hands would line up, but they weren't. That's a good question. I don't know if 300 would refill my life. Which Game Boy game did I like the most? Oh, Final Fantasy Adventure, hands down. Oh, I thought it was. I thought it was on the opposite hand, and I tried to move my hand over, and it wouldn't go over. I think I just, after I got through the 10K, my mind was done. Alright, that is Game & Watch Mario the Juggler. Quite a finale, huh? Actually managed to breach past max high score. Complete.